Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Junaid, and I've got some good news, come bad news, some changes that are coming to Meta as we live stream and we create content in our little groups on Facebook. Now, this was announced January 23rd, 2023, and I've got an article here from TechCrunch, which talks about how Meta is cutting off third party access to Facebook groups, leaving developers and customers in disarray. So, what does that mean? Well, there's a lot going on here. This news is the latest news that TechCrunch is putting out, and it talks about the recent surprise announcement that Meta is talking about soon shutting down its Facebook Groups API, throwing a lot of businesses and social media marketers into disarray. Now, what does that mean? Well, one of the biggest things that people are using this API is to easily publish to the groups, right? They're publishing to groups automatically. They're creating live streams to the group using third-party applications. They're using apps such as Zoom, like StreamYard, as well as Ecamm Live. They're using these different little tools to go live on inside of groups. Now, if you've noticed for the past few years since the pandemic kind of ended, um, groups inside of Facebook are not showing as much interest for a lot of people as they were back when the pandemic was strong. Now, one of the reasons for that is probably because a lot of the traffic is going through organic traffic, or people are creating content. So it's really interesting what's happening, and I'm can't wait to see what it's gonna happen. So now, what's gonna happen with Facebook Groups API? Now I haven't been live streaming to Facebook groups myself, mainly because I started to see the lack of engagement, and I started to see that people weren't really commenting a whole lot into what was happening, and that could change, and that could only that could just mean that I don't have my words right. That could just mean that people aren't in that phase anymore, where it's almost like you only go to high school for 1 year, right? Sorry, you go to high school for 4 years, but each grade, each level that you're learning at is just that 1 year. So 1 year you're in ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. So you're no longer learning the stuff that was being taught last year because you've already learned it. And the same thing goes with groups. The same thing goes with the different platforms that come around. Now, who here remembers Google groups or Yahoo groups? Like those groups are still probably going on. People are still using those groups, but they're living on top of emails, and people are interacting through email. Whereas with the Facebook group, was really powerful because people were coming inside and staying inside the platform as using those groups to interact with the people that are on here. Now, this is going to go live. The version 19 of the group CPI is going to apply to all versions on April 22nd, 2024, which just means that we're going to see a whole bunch of changes coming on. Now, based on this article, I'll share the link to this post. And again, thanks Charlene for sharing this article with me. I had no idea this was coming down, but it's apparently a huge deal. Right here we have Adam Peterson, the CEO of VibeCloud, says they provide a suite of tools for scheduling social media posts inside of the groups. Now, the API closure will be a noticeable impact on his business, and that's about 8% of his total revenue is going to the chopping block. And his company is serving over 5,000 Facebook accounts, primarily those belonging to female entrepreneurs. Now, this is really interesting, and those private messages or those messages, the scheduled messages that you set up are really, really important because they enable you to keep the group in a in an automated kind of motion. You're bringing new value to the group. You're bringing new articles to the group, and it's really interesting to see that it is going to be going away. Now let's go back to the article and see what else they talk about in here. Um, Peterson explains that customers often rely on agencies to handle various aspects of their posting, like team building or team motivation. Those agencies, this is their entire business model. This is their livelihood. And that's so true. There's a ton of agencies that will keep your Facebook group live and interactive and keep the engagement going. And I think the reason we also see this happening is because there are other group based systems that are popping up. For example, there's school.ai that uh, is this, or school.com that our Mr. I can't even remember um, school.com that Alex Hormozis recently bought. There's also circles.so that has been going strong for the past few years. There's Mighty Networks. There's tools built inside of Go High Level. They're building community. Again, there's a lot more tools available for you to nurture your community. There's a lot more tools available for you to cultivate that action. There's, of course, Slacks, there's Heartbeat. There's a ton of different options available for you if you have groups and you want to build a community on top of that, on top of the groups. And Facebook groups was really, really powerful, and unfortunately, it's it's started to see the decline in there. So again, the article also talks about a software called so some of these companies and some of these other companies, they're going to be get killed, and that's never fun to watch. Even if you compete with them, you'd rather win on service or product or something. He continues, and this is platform risk in real time. Owner of Daniel Burge, talks about that he will lose 7 years of work and over 10,000 customers because of this loss. Again, guys, when you're building your business on top of other people's rented platform, you never know what changes are coming. So you want to continue to evolve your business model, continue to evolve how you bring in customers, because again, that's the power of what it takes to. That's what's important. So let's see. I was going to close this out. And usually I'm recording a podcast episode at this time, but the guest that was going to show up at 4 o'clock didn't show up, didn't respond to the messages that I sent. I've been waiting on that Zoom call for like 16 minutes, still nothing, which is okay. Sometimes things come up, and you've got to go take care of those things. One of the guests that was going to be on the podcast earlier today at 9 a.m. messaged me like, "Hey, sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it. I've got family that is not feeling well, and I've got to, arrange for taking care of my kids and whatnot." So totally fine. But when somebody doesn't respond or doesn't show up, it's like, okay, do you really want to be a guest on the podcast, or were you just saying I want to be a guest but then not show up? Now, wanna highlight my good friend Katie Brinkley. She's got an amazing book out. It's absolutely mind blowing. It's called The Social Shift. I will share the link and I'll show you where to find the book. So here's the book, The Social Shift. Ooh, I don't know I could do this. So here's the social navigate the changing tides of social media with a social shift. Katie Brinkley talks about a lot of amazing things. There's mind blowing things in the book. I cannot wait to finish reading it. It's been really, really powerful. Anyways, that was a little bit of things that I had I wanted to share on what's coming to the world, or what's coming in the social media marketing, especially what Meta is changing. Now, to talk about some other changes that are welcome changes, people are loving it, is Facebook or Meta has also enabled you to live stream from your desktop directly into Instagram. And I tested that yesterday or the day before. It was really cool, and I see exactly what they're doing. This is similar to what Amazon had when they launched their live stream platform. You need to copy the secret key, paste it into your platform, so then you can publish live directly to there. Instagram is doing the same thing, and that's been a capability that a lot of people have been doing or been streaming to Facebook through that platform. So with this group API change, I'm not sure what other things are gonna happen, but I'm sure that you'll be able to use the RTMP link and go live streaming inside of your Facebook groups. So if that's one of the things that's affecting you, that's definitely going to help. Anyways, thanks for watching. And if you have any questions around studio setup, around setting up a podcast, or using AI for publishing your book or coming with ideas, it's always going to be really, really cool. Hey, we got Marcello watching on LinkedIn. Thanks, Marcello, for that. Bingo, bingo. And yikes, things are happening. So that's what's up. Thanks again for coming on, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.